YouTube founding community, Stevie Wonder fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we're here today to talk about one of my favorite Stevie Wonder albums, Talking Book, released in 1972. This exact copy happens to be a 2 LP set. So you got Music of My Mind and Talking Book. It's also a gatefold. It's from Holland. So here's some more Stevie albums you could buy. And there's all the track info. Love this thing. Not in the best condition, but for the collector and me, it was just so hard to pass up. I love this album so much. By this point in Stevie's career, he was really taking off on his own as not so much trying to stay in the pop tradition he had been introduced to in the mid 60s, and especially by the time you get to like Signed, Sealed, Delivered, he was already starting to change. Doing obviously way more writing and starting having way more input on the creativity of what his music was going to be. So by the time you get the Talking Book, I mean, this is Stevie like in total control at this point, showing just how incredibly talented this guy is. He's a freaking genius, and to hear his growth is unbelievable. For me, it's really like listening to the Beatles, where 5 years before this, he was doing something completely different to what he's doing right here, just like the Beatles did. If you look at Love Me Do to A Day in the Life, it's two different bands. So Stevie's growth, and he would continue to grow after this, was just phenomenal to listen to. So he's such a good artist. I mean, he's just like, his lyrics are fun, or deep, or introspective, or world-weary. You can tell he's got such a good heart, and he's just, the amount of passion he puts into his music is all laid out there. Especially with the first track on here. So we'll jump right in, as they say, with You Are the Sunshine of My Life. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful track. It's a very smooth production. I remember hearing the song when I was a kid, always thinking it was a modern song because the production in the intro is just so not very early 70s. It doesn't sound, to me anyway, like the early 70s. It sounds like the early 90s or late 80s. It's such a clean sound. But I love Stevie's vocal here. Those magical chords that just seem to like echo the feeling of what comfort sounds like. He nails it. He nails what love and devotion and admiration encapsulates. It's incredible how he finds those chords and makes them into something so tangible that when you hear it, it sounds like love. It's incredible how he does that, but it's a beautiful song. I love the horn arrangements on it. It's lighthearted. It's fun. It picks up. It slows down. There's nice dynamics on this track. Very awesome opener, and obviously one of his biggest hits. But fantastic song. The next song on here, Maybe Your Baby. This is easily one of my favorite Stevie songs. It lays into the funkiness, and Ray Parker Jr. is all over this album on guitar. The same Ray Parker Jr. that did Ghostbusters about 14 years later. But yeah, Maybe Your Baby. This song is so cool. It's got these funky, groovy, sharp, biting moments. This descending chorus melody, which I'm just a total sucker for that stuff. But the bouncy groove lends itself so well to letting Ray Parker Jr. do his thing on the guitar. Such a phenomenal guitar player. It just sounds like a blast. I would have loved to have been in the studio making this song with these guys. It just sounds like a hell of a good time. But one of those songs where no matter what mood I'm in, if I put this on, it's going to make me feel better. It's just such a funky, uplifting moment. Absolutely, absolutely love that song. And then you get to You and I, and man, the song is cool. I mean, it's just a classic Stevie Wonder song. It's one of those songs where you wonder how he finds all those special chords to make something sound different every time, but still very Stevie Wonder. His vocals on here are tender and beautiful. His piano playing is just as sweet. It's a love story, and I'm a total sucker for it. It should have been a hit, really. I mean, it's just like between the theremin in the background and his vocals and just that piano there, this could have been a hit for him. Tuesday Heartbreak, I think that's the next song on here, right? Yeah, Tuesday Heartbreak. Again, how do you come up with these chord changes? It's a dancey hit. It's a hell of a groove. I mean, the soulful saxophone, the angelic background vocals. I love the hi-hat shuffle on this one. Again, if you've watched my videos enough, you'll know that I'm a drummer, and I play a bunch of instruments, but I'm a drummer at heart. And whenever I hear a good hi-hat shuffle, that just clicks with me so much because that is a person locked into what the song needs and will benefit from. So I'm a huge proponent of good drumming. Huge proponent, huge admirer. I really dig good drummer. So there you go. Hell of a groove on that one. You've Got a Bad Girl. Again, that densely rich tapestry of production is blowing my mind on this one. Stevie's vocals are really cool and comfortable. He's just locked into the moment. And we're all the better for it. We're listening to it with him. But the production on this track in particular, I really enjoy. Side 2. Well, side 2. Superstition. I mean, come on. It's one of the coolest, grooviest songs ever made. When you hear that intro, you can't help but not get sucked into that world. It's a crowning achievement in soul music or pop music. And it's a crowning achievement in claiming that instrument for himself, that Hofner or Hohner clavinet. I can't speak today. It's a masterclass in songwriting and dancey rhythms, song construction, ebb and flow, dynamics. It's a powerhouse vocal performance. I mean, the vocal on this track is just so intense. No wonder why I went up so high in the charts, and no wonder why it still continues to blow minds and people cover it. It's just a fantastic knockout of a song. And everyone's just playing top notch on it. And, you know, for being a song, it's, according to this, 4 minutes and 40 seconds, it just flies by. Big Brother, this is classic Stevie harmonica on this one, which I love his harmonica playing, and there's not a whole lot of it on this, so when he does pop up, it's like, wow, oh yeah, I forgot Stevie could do that, because he's so good at everything else. I love the vocal melody on this one. I love the relaxed feeling. Lyrically, it's a whole other story. There's a lot more going on lyrically, which is an interesting offset to the sort of peaceful music, but a really beautiful song nonetheless, about so much changing. Blame It on the Sun has almost a depressive, joyous sort of dichotomy there. The verses have a hi-hat shuffle to signify movement, but lyrically it's about heartbreak. And so, you know, it's sort of about how life goes on, you know, characteristically by the hi-hat, but you're sort of stopped lyrically because of the heartbreak. So I like that juxtaposition there. Looking for Another Pure Love, picking yourself up again. You know, so it's kind of like part 2 of Blame It on the Sun, and I almost get like a sinking feeling on this one. It's not a sinking feeling. What am I trying? Like early Abbey Road, side 2 Abbey Road Beatles feel to it, like Sun King kind of lightness to it. The guitar tone is really cool here, and I think Jeff Beck is on this one. Let me just double check that. Is he mentioned on this? Yeah, Jeff Beck and Buzzy Phaeton rather. Yeah, so Jeff Beck is on there, that's right. Loaded with harmonies, dreamy atmosphere, really cool song. And then it ends with I Believe, which is also one of my favorite Stevie Wonder songs. The chorus and how it seems to repeat forever is just more and more infectious every single time you hear it and listen to it as you're enjoying it. Stevie nails the heartbreak, the hope, and the wanting of a happy ending, all wrapped up in one line. What a line. I believe when I fall in love with you, it will be forever. And what a line. And then to repeat that over and over again, sort of like a mantra as the album sort of fades out, with that mentality. Just a beautiful ending to an absolute masterpiece of an album. Stevie Wonder for me is one of those artists where when you're used to listening to what you listen to and you're not like a hardcore Stevie Wonder fan, when you put his music on, it's almost like, wow, I didn't know music can go there, or can do that, or can do this, or can incorporate that instrument. And you wonder what planets he's visited, because his musical language, it really is unlike anybody else. If you hear a Stevie Wonder song or his harmonica playing, you instantly know it's him. And very few people hold that sort of regard, where you instantly know it's that person doing their thing, which is what I love so much about Stevie Wonder, is that when you hear his voice, his harmonica playing, his like, you know that's him. What a trademark. And so when you put on a Stevie Wonder album, it takes you places that you didn't think music can go. And that just blows my mind. So for this thing, for Talking Book, easily 8 out of 10 for me. Love this record. One of my favorites. I used to have an original one. I don't know what happened to it. I must have sold it at one point. But during my era of I need food to live and all my records are going to get sold. So I've been slowly buying things back over the years. But yeah, Talking Book. If you haven't heard it, please listen to it. Your life will be so much better for it. It's a fantastic, fantastic LP. 8 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Giggens. This has been Stevie Wonder, Talking Book. Love this record. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.